I said, no, I crashed my car because I was texting.
Hello, Sneak Peek. This is Zayra, and we're currently at the red carpet of the Wall of Mexico.
Just don't do that. Why would you do that to me?
Check it out. How did you come up with the idea of the film?
Go ahead.
The film was a reaction to the 2016 election, and I guess instead of looking at it directly, we decided to create an allegory that would speak about walls, real and visible and invisible, real and unreal.
So is that where the title of the film comes from?
Not what it looks like.
It's not?
Not exactly.
Could you explain?
Well, I don't want to give it away, but Mexico in our film is not Mexico. It's Mexico. And this is the Wall of Mexico, and it's a complicated thing, and I don't want to give it away.
What drew me to the film was that it felt like it was some perverse magical realism. Like it was like Gabriel Garcia Marquez is like 100 Years of Solitude, but like on cocaine.
The title, must read. And Jackson's a dear friend. We've worked on a bunch of stuff together, and he was telling me to come down to Mexico. I love Mexico. So I was drawn to all those things. And then when I started reading the script, I was like, yeah.
It was the directors. I'm Magdalena. I read a book that she wrote, The Ballad of Bernie Perciol, which I loved. And I thought, wow, these kids are very interesting. These people are very interesting. And I wanted to work with them.
It shows Latinas in a way that are normally not shown in movies and TV and films.
I fell in love with the poetic nature of the dialogue, the idea that the camera work was written into the film, so I felt like I could actually see it. I felt like I could actually, while I was reading it, I felt like I could actually see the film happening, and I was in love with the script. It was beautiful. Poetry and the transhumanism and the idea of the political discourse allowing itself to be funny and allowing these moments of highs and lows in order for it to really just shape what the human experience can be.
Could you tell us a little bit about your character?
Monica's the mother of the young girls, and she's very queenly, sort of calculated. She keeps the secrets in the family. She runs the business. And so just like every mother, she sort of handles everything.
You mentioned that dialogue was your favorite part. What was your favorite line or something funny that maybe you or somebody else said?
We have this like wordplay thing, and the director Zachary, he uses sort of alliteration, and there was this one point, I mean, it's not good, we always said baby carrots, and he had me say it like 10 different times, and I said, how many times can I say baby carrots? And we got it right finally at one point, and so keep your ear out for baby carrots.
I will, most definitely will.
There's one in particular where I'm cleaning a grill, and we improv this moment where he flicks my hat off, and I go to pick it up, and as I'm picking up my hat, he kicks me in the ass, and I turn around, and I make it a really sincere moment, like, just don't do that. Why would you do that to me? And it goes from like the high of the comedy to the low of the emotion, and just finding those moments and those senses of reality, because you could, further the comedy and make it a Three Stooges routine, or you have it funny, and then all of a sudden you pull it back to the human element of just the feeling that it invokes.
It's cool to see the girls talking about things like metaphysics and philosophy and really deep stuff that they share between each other. And so I think that was definitely a really refreshing part of the script.
I know that the town people in the story are very superstitious about the water. Is there anything you're very superstitious about in your own life?
Ooh, that's a fun question. Let's see. I like taking superstitions, but then making them good. Like, I love the number 13. Yeah. My dad always taught me, he's like, make it your lucky number. Don't make Friday the 13th a bad thing. Make it your lucky day. So I try to do stuff like that.
I'm very superstitious about astrology. I don't believe in it or trust in it. Okay. So if people say Mercury's in retrograde, that's why you crashed your car. I said, no, I crashed my car because I was texting. So that's what I'm superstitious about.
That's funny.
I didn't crash my car, don't worry.
When I'm driving in traffic, I don't like to say, wow, there's no traffic. This is great. Because as soon as you say that, everyone starts backing up, right?
Oh my goodness, you're so right.
There were a bunch of superstitions in the theater that you wouldn't quote the Scottish play by Shakespeare. You don't even say the title of it. There's you don't put a hat on the bed. You don't underline your lines in red.
I grew up in the theater in Midland, Texas, and even in Midland, we were taught to be a superstitious, and so I'm terrified to break a mirror. I've never done it. I don't walk under ladders because I think that's dumb. Why would you walk under a ladder anyway? Just walk around it. Seems like a way smarter move. I draw the line at black cats. I'm like, you know what? I think black cats are awesome. There's no way I'm gonna like see a black cat and get freaked out. But I do have certain superstitions, and I respect other people's.
Is there anything that you want the audience to take away from this movie?
Yeah, their own opinion,
Your own opinion.
which is so rare in movies. It kind of tell you what to think.
Yeah.
And I love this one because it engages you to think.
I want the audience to have fun with this movie. I think it's obviously there's a certain very serious subject matter at hand, but to get lost in that is to get lost in politics. And this isn't a political film necessarily. This is a film about walls. And those walls can be something physical, something metaphysical, something sexual, something emotional. It's these obstructions that we place in our own lives. And I think that's really what the film's about at its heart.
Once you watch the film, I think it's a great opportunity to just contemplate walls in general, walls that we put up between each other, not just political walls, but emotional walls, social walls, and why we as humans sometimes can feel a sense of satisfaction when we bar ourselves off from others in many different ways. And it's just an interesting contemplation, and I think it's the resounding message of all this and what the wall versus water represents.
At essence, it is this perverse, dark comedy, but it shows everything from a different perspective and from a different lens. So I hope that one of those angles someone will be able to relate to.
Just the complexities of the film, just to enjoy it, not relax into it, not really look for anything.
Welcome. Yes, thank you so much, and congratulations on the movie.
Oh, totally. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Horn.
Yes, thank you so much, and congratulations on the film.
My mother went to the University of Texas during the Depression.